the most delicious orange cake in the world. To start this wonderful cake, let's put in a container 2 whole eggs. I'll beat a little to mix the eggs. This recipe will impress you. I will add a cup of sugar and stir a little more until the sugar dilutes in our eggs. You can't imagine how delicious she is. Then I will add 100 milliliters of oil and also a cup of orange juice. I will stir again so that all the ingredients blend well. It has become one of my favorite recipes. Now, with the help of a sieve, I will add 2 cups of wheat flour. I will sift well for our dough to be very fluffy. I will mix all the ingredients until the wheat flour is added to our recipe. Finally, I will add a tablespoon of baking powder. I will stir until the yeast is completely added to our dough. Now, I will add our dough in a container greased with butter and wheat flour, then I will bake for 40 minutes at 180 degrees. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Rosario Zalueta from Miami. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. As soon as the time is up, I'm gonna take our cake out of the oven. I'll add another 200 milliliters of orange juice over our cake. I have no doubt that you and your family will love this recipe. Do it at your house and then come and tell what you thought. I will love to know. I will reserve for another 30 minutes, until the cake adds well the flavor of orange juice and is well dry. I'm sure this recipe will be part of your routine after you do it the first time. Now our recipe is ready. See how incredibly easy it is to prepare this orange cake? I have no doubt that you will come back here to thank me for teaching you to make this recipe. This orange cake looks great on that breakfast or afternoon snack for every day. I'm sure your friends and family will want to know all the secrets of how to make this delicious recipe. After I tasted this orange cake, I never did it any other way. It looks better than those bought ready. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I see you in the next video. Bye! The best onion omelet I ever had. To begin our recipe, I will cut an onion into thin slices, this way. I have no doubt that this recipe will impress you. Next, I'll cut 200 grams of mozzarella into small cubes, this way I'm doing, and I'll reserve a little. Now, I will add a little olive oil in a frying pan, and soon after I will add our onion slices. I will also add a teaspoon of salt and half teaspoon of black pepper. I'll stir until our onions get a little golden. Once you taste this recipe, I'm sure it will be part of your routine. In the sequence, I will add 7 whole eggs in our recipe. I will also add a little parsley to taste over the eggs and onion. Then I will add all our mozzarella cut into small cubes, then a tablespoon of grated Parmesan, and finally a teaspoon of paprika. I will stir well to mix all the ingredients inside our frying pan. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Sakura Ortega from Indonesia. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. Guys, I have no doubt that you and your family will love this recipe. Do it at your house and then tell me what you think. Now I will cover our recipe and let it cook for 10 minutes. As soon as time has passed, with the help of a dish, I will turn our amazing omelette into the frying pan. I'll fix the omelette corners a little bit with the spatula. Tell me if you have any other recipe with eggs and mozzarella. I'll love to know. Finally, I will cover again for another 5 minutes so that it is well cooked on both sides. Now our recipe is ready. I doubt you've ever tasted an omelette as good as this one. See how we can make an amazing recipe with few ingredients? I have no doubt that you will come back here to thank me for having taught you how to make this wonderful recipe. This has become one of my favorite recipes since the first time I made it. I do not stop making it and everyone here at home loves it. Every time I make this omelette, there's nothing left that's so delicious it gets. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I see you in the next video. Bye. After learning this recipe, I just want to eat pasta like this. In a saucepan, I will put 250 grams of pasta and add water to cover. Let's add olive oil to taste. I am sure you will be surprised by the result. I'll let you cook. Next, we will cut an onion. First in long slices and then in small cubes. I'll also cut half a red bell pepper, same way we did with the onion. And finally half green bell pepper. Now I'm gonna cut an apple. Tell me how you like to use apple and vegetables in your home, I would love to know. Let's cut a whole cucumber. In this way. Do it at your house and then come back here to tell me what you think. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. It's really a delight. I'll transfer the ingredients we cut into a bowl. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Mark Sales from Michigan. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. In a container, I will put a tablespoon of mustard, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, the juice squeezed from half a lime, a tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of ketchup. Your whole family will love this recipe. 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. I will mix all the ingredients very well. Let's add the mixture we prepared over the vegetables we put in the bowl. And finally add the pasta we cooked earlier. I never ate pasta the same way after I learned how to cook it like this. I'll also add 170 grams of tuna. It is perfect to escape the routine with a different option for lunch. Finally, I will take the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And our recipe was already ready. Look what delight was. I'm transferring to another container because I like to serve like this in my home. But you can eat the way you like. I have no doubt that you will come back here to thank me for teaching you to do so. It is impossible to eat just a little because it is very tasty. It is much better than those pasta salads sold in conventional markets. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Delicious and easy. I can't stop cooking this vegetable recipe. Let's start this recipe by cutting 3 potatoes. Then, we will transfer to a pan with water. Always closing the pan to cook the ingredients. Next, we will add a carrot in slices. And we'll also let her cook in the pot. Now, let's insert a sliced cauliflower. This recipe is amazing, the result will surprise you. And then we'll also add a sliced broccoli. After that, we'll separate for later. Now, on a glass platter, we will insert olive oil. Next, we'll insert a layer of potato slices into it. And also the other ingredients prepared previously. Now, let's cut 1 onion into thin slices. In a frying pan, I will put some olive oil. And add the onion to let it fry. Now, let's slice one yellow bell pepper into small cubes, and we're also gonna put him in the frying pan. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Eleanor Antolin from Philippines. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. After that, we will transfer the ingredients to the glass platter. In another container, we will put 3 eggs and stir them until they look like this. Then we'll add half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of salt, and also a cup of wheat flour. And let's move it a little bit. Now, let's add 300 milliliters of milk. It's a simply amazing and delicious recipe. Make it at home and then come back here to tell me what you think. After that, we will add parsley to taste, and 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and mix a little more to add the flavor. After that, we will transfer the mixture over the glass platter. Be sure to make this recipe at home. Finally, let's add mozzarella to taste. And we'll bake at 360 Fahrenheit degrees for 40 minutes. And our recipe was already ready. Look what delight was. My friends always ask me to teach how it is done, so amazing that the result is. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. The best banana cake recipe. Easy and amazing. To start, we will need 3 bananas, where we will peel and cut into slices. After cutting, we will put our bananas in a blender. And also we will add 2 eggs. Then add 120 milliliters of milk. And also, 80 g of butter. Once this is done, I will cover the blender and beat these ingredients. Tell me how you make cake in your house. I would love to know your recipe. Stop the process and add half a cup of raisin white and mix again. And before I forget, tell me which city you watch so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Isabel Shirozawa from Louisville. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. Now in another container and using a sieve, I will add 240 g of wheat flour. And I will also add half a cup of brown sugar, and a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And soon after I will pour our previously made mixture and stir with these new ingredients. After I learned this recipe, my family only asks me to cook it at home. Add chestnut to taste and stir again. Finally, add a tablespoon of baking powder and mix the last time. This recipe impresses everyone who repeats it at home. Now we will take our recipe for a greased pan. Spread our recipe well so that it bakes equally everywhere. Now we will take our recipe to the oven at 340 degrees for 40 minutes. My friends always ask me to teach how it is done, so amazing that the result is. I bet you will never make cake any other way after learning this recipe. That done, our recipe is ready. Look how beautiful it was. I like to put honey to taste when I serve this recipe, but then it's your preference. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I mixed carrots, potatoes, and cucumbers. Look how delicious it was. To start this recipe, I will grate a whole carrot. Then I will also grate a cucumber. In this way. Then I will also grate a whole potato. Tell me how you like to use potatoes in your home, I'd love to know. Now I will add 4 eggs, 150 grams of ham. Next I will add 3 cloves of garlic, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and also parsley to taste. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Andy Boulma, from French. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. I'll add half a cup of wheat flour, and also a tablespoon of baking powder. Do it at your house and then come back here to tell me what you think. In a pan, we will put some olive oil. With the help of a kitchen brush, we will spread well. I will transfer the mixture we prepared earlier into the pan. You will never want to eat vegetables any other way. Let's cover the pan and cook for 15 minutes. With the help of a dish, I will turn our recipe to cook equally on both sides. Using only a few ingredients present in everyday life, we can make a recipe much tastier than those sold in conventional restaurants. To give a special touch, we will put a little mozzarella cheese on top of everything. You can use the amount you prefer, this part is to taste. Try using other types of cheese, such as Parmesan, I'm sure it will be equally delicious. I will also add oregano to taste. Let's cover the pan again and cook for another 10 minutes. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. And our recipe was already ready, look what delight was. It's a great option to do on days you don't have much time to cook. Ideal to share with the whole family and ensure a differentiated and very tasty lunch. I do it myself often in my home, and when I do, nothing is ever left because it is really delicious. I have no doubt that you will enter your routine, just as you entered mine. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video, bye. Bacon and pasta the way you've never seen it before. Let's start today's recipe by putting 250 grams of pasta in a pan. And also cover water to half. And add a teaspoon of salt and stir. After that, cook for 10 minutes. That done, now in a pan, let's put some olive oil. I'll spread it with a cooking brush. Next, I will add half of our cooked pasta. I'm sure this recipe will surprise you and your family. Soon after, this time in a pan, put 150 grams of bacon cut into small pieces and we will stir as they fry. We will also need to cut 100 grams of ham into small pieces. I will add our ham cut in the pan and mix with the bacon. After these ingredients cook, we will put them on our pasta, remembering to spread well so that they are well distributed in the pan. You can also make 2 layers of pasta and 2 of bacon, interspersed between one and the other, is a delight. Now with a grater, we will grate 150 grams of mozzarella. That done, let's put our grated mozzarella on our recipe. Write down how to prepare this recipe, you will need to teach your friends and family. Now in a container, we will add 2 eggs and 300 milliliters of milk, and also 200 grams of natural yogurt. I'll add a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Next, we will beat all these ingredients. Now let's pour our mixture over our recipe. After this step, we will take our recipe to the oven at 350 degrees for 35 minutes. And before I forget, tell me which city you watch so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Mateus Kelvin from San Jose, California. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. That done, our recipe is ready. Look what a delight that was. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hot dog in a way you've never seen before. To start, we will need 8 slices of mozzarella and 8 sausages that I will wrap in the mozzarella. Then I will put a skewer in the recipe. That way, I will repeat the process until I do with all. This recipe is simply amazing and delicious. Make it at home and then come back here to tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any recipe with sausage, I would love to know. Done this, I will take to the fridge for an hour. Meanwhile, I will add 2 eggs, a cup of milk, a cup and a half of wheat flour in a container, and then I will stir everything very well until all the ingredients are added. Next, I will add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of oregano, and again, I will stir until the seasonings are mixed in the dough. Once this is done, I will transfer the dough I just made to a glass, and then I will pass our recipe in the dough. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Lynn Bengo from Wales. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. Done this, I will put our recipe to fry in a pan with hot oil. Stir the recipe in the pan constantly to fry equally from all sides, this way. Be very careful with hot oil so you don't get burned. This recipe is amazing. I'm sure the result will surprise you. Has become one of my favorite recipes since the first time I tried it. Now I can't stop doing it. Is an amazing recipe, quick, easy, goes few ingredients, and best of all, it's delicious. There's no reason for you not to do it in your home. People, I love this recipe. I'm sure you and all your family will like it too. I do it myself every weekend, and when I do nothing, my family loves it and asks me to do it forever. Done, this is ready, our recipe. Look how beautiful it was. Now just serve and enjoy this delight. I will eat with a little ketchup because I love it, but this part is optional. You can use the condiment of your choice. It will be equally delicious. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. The most delicious vegetable recipe I've ever eaten. To start our recipe, I will start cutting 2 carrots into slices. This recipe is amazing, it will surprise you. Next, I will add water in a pan. Then the carrot I cut. While cooking, I will also cut a cauliflower. Tell me if you have any differentiated recipe with vegetables. Now I will transfer to the pan with the carrot. Once that's done, I'm gonna cut a broccoli. This recipe is amazing. Make it at your house and then come back here to tell me what you think. Now I'm going to transfer to the pot along with the other vegetables. If you need to add more water. Now I'll add a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of milk. I'll let it cook a little longer. In a container, I will add a little olive oil and I will spread to grease. done so, I will transfer the cooked vegetables to the greased container. This recipe has become routine here at home, so delicious. In another container, I will add 3 eggs, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, 100 grams of heavy cream, and then I will stir everything very well with the help of a utensil until all the ingredients aggregate and mix. Finally, I will add 100 grams of natural yogurt and I will stir one last time. I'm sure this recipe will become routine in your home as soon as you taste it. Now I'm going to pour the mixture I made over the boiled vegetables, spreading and distributing well through everything. Next I will add mozzarella to taste on top, but this part is optional. You can use as much as you want. I will add a lot because I love cheese. Now I'm going to cut a tomato into small pieces, like that. My family loves when I make this recipe for dinner. And then I'm gonna add the tomato chunks to our recipe. Finally, I will also cut a bell pepper and then add in the recipe. You can use the one of your preference. I'm using yellow because I love the taste, but if you want you can use another. I'll bake it 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. After the time is ready, our recipe, look how beautiful it was. Now just serve and enjoy this delight. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Philippus Ipinj from Namibia. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. After I discovered this recipe, I just want to eat potatoes like this. To begin our recipe, I will cut 7 small potatoes in the middle. Now, in a deep pan, I will add our potatoes cut in half. I will add water until all the potatoes are covered. Next, I will add a teaspoon of salt and leave the potatoes on low heat until well cooked. In a frying pan, I will add a tablespoon of butter and stir until the butter melts completely. I have no doubt that this recipe will impress you. I'm gonna add our potato chips one by one to the pan. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching so I can send you a special hug. Today's hug goes to Ellen Patton, Kentucky. I'm glad you're enjoying our recipes. As soon as they fry a little, I will stir all the potatoes for the butter to cover them whole. Next I will add a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of paprika, 3 cloves of garlic, and finally, I will add a tablespoon of butter. I will stir again until all the butter melts and the seasonings add flavor to our potatoes. Guys, I'm sure you and your family will love this recipe. Do it at your house and then come back here to tell me what you think. Now I will add the juice of a whole lime. Guys, this is the special touch in our recipe. You will see that the lime will make a good difference in the final result. I'm going to stir some more so that the lime stays on all the potatoes. Finally, I will add a little parsley to taste and stir again. Tell me if you have a different recipe using potatoes. I'll love to know. I doubt you've ever tasted any potatoes as delicious as the one we're making. Now our recipe is ready. I doubt you've ever tasted any potato recipe as tasty as this one. See how we can make an amazing recipe with few ingredients? I have no doubt that you will come back here to thank me for having taught you how to make this wonderful recipe. This has become one of my favorite recipes since the first time I made it. I do not stop making it and everyone here at home loves it. I'm sure your friends and family will ask you all the secrets of how to make this amazing recipe. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video so far. I see you in the next video. Bye.